My account is up 51,000, right? I'm gonna go over the trade that I took, which was this first one right here, and then I'm gonna go over two trades that I just did while back testing today's price action. Today was pretty good. The morning was really good, right? Just overall pretty bullish. I'm gonna go over the trade. I even recorded it a bit. Me and my friend were blowing on the candles, and it actually worked. So let me pull that up. It's this one right here. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but
right now.
right here we're blowing on it. Blowing that shit.
Blowing it right now.
Oh, nice.
Yo, it's working. Wait, it's
Oh,
working.
it's working. So I ended up getting out around like 600. I had to go to work and stuff, right? So I just got out. But this is the first trade. Overall, just over. If you look at the higher time frame, 15 minutes, pretty bullish, right? One of my targets was this level right here at buy side at 208. Again, looking at the higher time frame, this is just as high. Oh, what the fuck did you do? It's really just as high right over here, right? Now we are at all-time highs, so we're playing really defensive now, going into the next couple of weeks, right? If we continue higher, but this is just overall buy side. We're just a high external, right? But you go into the lower time frame. I'm gonna be going over the trade that I took. Now there are multiple trades, and you could just catch just like a retest. So let's say if you go on the 5 minute here, right? There's a 5 minute for rally gap here. There's a retest, and then you just continue higher, right? I don't trade like that, but I know some people who trade like that. Right, this is a good little retest right here, and then just ride it all the way up top, right? That's like 140 points. But I didn't. I ended up taking that trade, right? So the trade that I did end up taking, as you guys can see in that video, was this one right over here, right? So I'm just gonna run through it real quick. So on the 2 minute, there is this fair value gap on the left, right? This is fair value gap on the left on the 2 minute right here that we're just bouncing off of, right? It's just continuing, bullish order flow, right? We did not close under this 2 minute, meaning like price wants to probably continue up. Now, going back to the 1 minute, why does it do that? All right, so going back to the 1 minute, right? So I want to catch an inverse fair value gap to the upside, right? So first things first, there is this inverse right over here, right, on this candle, but this candle closure is all the way up here, which is scary, right? That's too much. Obviously, the draw liquidity is definitely this high up here, but if I entered here, my thing would have been fucked, right? Like, this is not a good RR whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So, patience, right? You just wait a little bit longer, and price presented inverse fair value trade. Now, price continued back down, right? Now, you also see this 1 minute fair value gap getting respected as well. So what does that mean? Bullish order flow again, right? Price did not close under this fair value gap. So so it's starting to form a little bit more structure, right? That price wants to continue higher. Now, this is where I enter. The entry that I take is off of this 1 minute inversion. You see this fair value gap right here? Yeah. So this candle, good momentum, good sandwich here, which is an order block, right? So there's just extra confluence and good closure right over here, right? So this was my trade, right? This was my trade. This was my RR going into this. It's a 1.27. It's okay. It's at least a 1.1 RR, right? So, but I was actually never in drawdown, so which made it better, right? So as you saw from the video, we were blowing on it, and it just ended up continuing higher. And then my TP was this, and I held a runner, and my runner actually ran for about like for $600 or something like that. I had to exit because I was already running late for work, so I took it out. But if you held, this trade would have gone for 53 points. So pretty solid. This was the trade that I took, and yeah. So as you can see here, my account balance is up compared to that last video. Right, we're up like around 500 or something. But now the second trades, the other two trades I want to take a look at are these two right here. Right, so where is buy side? So that level I marked out is all the way over here. I don't know why it's all the way over there. So going back to the 1 minute, my target overall, or if I was still in this trading day, is just still continuing bullish, right? Because I mean, look at this. like, like if you want to catch a downside and expect to take out all of this liquidity, that's not realistic, man. So definitely you want to catch a trade to the upside, and if a trade presents itself that like to the downside, obviously if you want to take it, you go ahead. And this is this trade right here, and I'm going to talk about why this trade is pretty decent as well. But this trade is just simple, right? So we have here a clear sweep of internal liquidity, right over here. You do also have an SMT with ES, singular for value gap, clear to the eye. Good closure as well. So you could have entered off of this candle close right over here, but you know, since we're pretty high up, if you wanted to take it, it would have been fine, right? Like your stop loss is like maybe like down here. So this is overall still pretty good RR. But what makes this trade better is this little retest right here, right? And that we're just respecting this for value gap now, right? This internal one right over here, the one I just drew, right? So we're respecting this for value gap. So this retest is actually pretty good. You could have entered off of this maybe, giving you a better RR, and then you could probably have like, I don't know, TP over here, and then like final TP like over here. So this is a decent trade. Nothing too crazy, but I mean this probably would have taken you to break even, right? So unless you just scaled out fully right at the top, right, for 20 points. But I mean this trade's all right. Yeah, the next couple is just sideways, right? It's kind of just choppy, not really. Now this second trade is to the downside, even though we're still pretty bullish, right? Because like look at this, just expansion moves to the upside. This is pretty clean, like textbook wise. So we have a fair value gap here that we bounce off of. On top of that, there is an SMT, and there is a singular fair value gap that gets inverse with good momentum. Now this trade for some people would have been scary, right? So let's say you entered off of this candle closure and it just continued back to the upside. It wouldn't have stopped you unless you have a type stop loss. Even then, it wouldn't have stopped you, right? Like let's say your stop loss is this candle body right here, or your stop loss is to the top of this SMT and into the fair value gap. It wouldn't have stopped you out. People, I'm pretty sure, like I would have gotten scared too, right? Because like obviously you just wanted to expand lower, but this trade ends up working out, right? So kind of get somewhat of an order block here. Good expansion move to the downside. TP right here. So this making move stop loss to break even at TP. And then you could just target this low right here, right? So this trade would have ran you for around 20 points as well. And this is a 2RR trade. And it's not too bad, right? So these are just the trades that I saw today that were pretty decent. Personally, I like this second one more compared to this first one, even though it's kind of like against like overall bias since we're just pushing up this entire time. But like I said, you don't want to be married to a bias and miss on a good setup, right? Because this setup is pretty clean. I would say like a setup, B plus maybe. But it's just because like all the confluence line up together, right? Like we're bouncing off of fair value gap. There's an SMT, single fair value gap. Right here, it gets inverse, good momentum. Stop loss at the top. Target, target this low, TP. So this is just overall a good trade. This trade's a little bit fucked up, but I mean it's still a trade that would have given you break even. So break even's better than taking a L. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Went over everything, but yeah, like I said, on the account we are at 51,200, looking pretty solid. Tomorrow, I don't know if we have news tomorrow. Let me check. Nah, yeah, no, nothing really important tomorrow. But we're gonna see what happens right now overnight. This looks pretty ugly. It's just choppy right now, just sideways. We're gonna see what happens, and yeah. So appreciate you guys. Much love, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.